In this training session, we're going to cover how to set up your profile. When you first log into the Gorilla Marketplace, the very first screen that comes up will be your profile screen. After that initial login, you'll come to the landing page, which is shown here. To return to your profile, you simply go up and click on Profile in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You'll notice that this screen comes up and you have tabs, and you also have sub-tabs of those tabs. We're going to start with User Settings. Under User Settings, the first sub-tab is User Identification. A point of clarification here: I'm logged in as an administrator, so there's going to be a number of these tabs and sub-tabs that we will not cover. Under the first tab, User Settings, under User Identification, we see basic information: first and last name, phone number, email address, department, position, username is all under this tab. The second tab under User Setting, you will notice I haven't completed any of this information, and it's not necessary that you complete any of this information. Under the third tab, Roles, the main thing that you need to understand here is that there are roles in the Gorilla Marketplace. Most of the people viewing this video are going to be budget approvers. Since I'm an administrator, I have 3 roles. Normally you will just have 1 role. The 3 roles that would be most commonly used on campus will be that of a shopper, which is someone that can fill a cart but cannot process the cart because they do not have budgetary approval. A requester is someone that can also fill a cart and assign funding, but also does not have budget approval authority. So they simply have to send the cart or assign the cart to another individual. The budget approver is someone that can fill a cart, assign funding, and then process the cart. The next tab that we're going to look at is going to be Email Preferences. You'll notice that there are many preferences within this tab. The main thing that you need to understand here is that the purchasing office will help you set your email preferences. Don't be concerned by all the choices. The Gorilla Marketplace has many custom settings and preferences that you can set, and the purchasing office will help you set those. Next, we're going to move over to the Purchasing tab. Under the Purchasing tab, we're going to look at 4 areas. The first of those is going to be the Custom Fields tab and the Codes sub-tab. Under the Codes sub-tab, I'm going to show you how to set some of your defaults. Defaults are set to allow a user to not have to enter information that is repetitive in nature. So I'm going to go ahead and set my fund information to default to my OOE. So in this case, I'll go ahead and create a new value. I will search by numeric value. I happen to know it's 105, so I'm going to search. When that value comes up, I will select it and add it to the values. Now you'll notice in this box that value comes up. I've now set that as my default value for my fund. Now that I've completed that, I'll close the window and set my unit. Set the unit by again clicking on Edit, creating a new value. This time I'll do a text description search and enter purchasing. There's my value. I want to do Purchasing Office OE. I will select that. Add the value. And again, it shows up in the box. Close that. The last value that I'm going to set as a default, it's going to be my department. Again, I'll do a text search for purchasing. Select, add the value. One thing I forgot to do here on the previous two is to click on the value and set it as the default, and save and close. And you'll notice, since I didn't click on the value, that it did not show up as a default value. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click on the unit, click on the value, set it as a default, and save it. Close it. Same thing on the fund. And that's how we set the default values. The next tab that we're going to look at is the payment options, which is located here. This will be the tab that you use to set your procurement card information so that you can use it either as a default or just use it in general. In this case, you'll notice that I have two cards that are entered, but neither one of those are set as a default. If you wanted to add a card, you would simply click on Add a New Card, and this box would show up. You enter the card information and hit Save, and it will add the card over in this area. Again, if you're wanting to add a default card, then you have to apply the default to one of these cards. In this case, I don't want a default card, so you'll notice neither one of these cards is in bold. That means that neither one is set as a default. If I click on this card, it comes up. If I wanted it as a default, I could click here and save it, and it would automatically use that card anytime that I was making a purchase. In this case, I do not want to do that. The next sub-tab that we're going to look at under the purchasing setting is addresses. Under the addresses sub-tab, you'll notice that I have two addresses already set up. One of those you'll notice is bold, which means it's set up as a default, and one of those you'll notice is not. Both of these are set up so that if I wanted to set them as a default, all I'd have to do is click or unclick this box. The central receiving is 300 East Lindbergh, the physical plant. The other address, 1701 South Broadway, is what this abbreviation stands for, is a delivery address for staples. Next, we're going to look at cart assignment. Cart assignment is where you will come to set up individuals if you're going to assign a cart. In this case, you'll notice that I've set up Joe as someone I can assign a cart to. If I needed to add somebody else to assign a cart to, I could simply go in, click there, do a search, select Sherry Saya, and add her. This allows me to assign carts to these individuals when I'm shopping in the Gorilla Marketplace. Next, we're going to do the Permissions tab. Under the Permissions tab, the only sub-tab that we're going to look at is the Shopping Cart tab. Again, the reason we look at this tab is to give you an idea of some of the preferences that are available. The purchasing office will be happy to help you set your preferences, so don't be very concerned about all the different options that you have available to you. There's not anything that you need to worry about under the supplier management or history tabs. Those are only there because I'm an administrator. This will conclude this training session. If you have questions regarding your preferences or anything that you've seen here, please call the purchasing office. We will come to your desktop and help you. Thank you.